gents, Jack Dragonfly back once again. As you've already guessed from the title, I recently returned from a 4-day trip to the windy city of Chicago, and I'm here to share that story with all of you guys. Now, for this trip, I was staying at the Hilton Chicago, a hotel that honestly was 10 times fancier than I was expecting, and has even played host to some celebrities and even a few US presidents. Like these. Though admittedly, the view from my room only consisted of the building next to us. But it was still pretty swanky by my standards. Of course, I didn't go to Chicago to stay cooped up in a hotel room all day. I had places to be. Like the Shedd Aquarium, the third largest aquarium in all the United States, second only to the Monterey Bay Aquarium in California, and the more famous Georgia Aquarium. Sadly, though, it seems I came at a bad time, as two of the exhibits, the Amazon exhibit and the Central Caribbean Reef Tank, which houses a sea turtle, were closed due to construction. This footage right here is what they would have looked like. Link to the original videos down below in the description. I also have to give a shout out to the Wild Reef exhibit, a dive into the world of coral reefs featuring a colourful cast of fish and a spectacular shark exhibit. I was even lucky enough to attend a dolphin show, where the aquatic acrobats were on full display. Now, I know dolphin shows have gotten a lot of bad press recently, but I can safely say that the Shedd Aquarium's dolphins were having an absolute blast. These dolphins in particular are Pacific white-sided dolphins, which are a bit smaller and more colourful than the more famous bottlenose. These dolphins can be seen in the award-winning Abbott Oceanarium exhibit, which also houses penguins, sea otters, and my perennial favourite, the beluga, also known as the canary of the sea. Just listen to that beautiful sing-song. And here's some more of the things I got to experience at the Shedd Aquarium. After the aquarium, it was time to move on to the main event, the Field Museum.
They had all kinds of exhibits on display, ranging from mummies from ancient Egypt to the first kings of Europe. They even had these giant taxidermy holes, which housed more animals than I could count, including the famous passenger pigeon, which only went extinct about 100 years ago. Rest in peace, you little birds. Rest in peace.
These right here are the man-eaters of Savo. These two maneless male lions are reportedly responsible for the death of over 130 people in Kenya during 1898. Until they were finally shot and killed. There was also this exhibit known as the Underground Adventure, but I have to confess, this was the only one that actually scared me. Especially this giant earwig they had over here. Now I'm Jack Dragonfly the Dinosaur Man, so of course I had to check out all the dinosaurs they had on display, like this Spinosaurus that was hanging right above the admissions desk, or this statue of Quetzalcoatlus, the largest of all the pterosaurs. The rest of the dinosaurs are all kept in this hole called the Evolving Planet. The evolution of life, starting from the very beginning of the Paleozoic, all the way to the end of the Ice Age.
And here she is, the one and only Sue, the most complete Tyrannosaurus Rex fossil ever found. Now I've seen plenty of live T-Rexes during my time, but there's still something so awe-inspiring about looking at a skeleton of an animal that lived 65 million years ago. Now, Sue used to be exhibited in the main hall, but she was recently moved to be closer to the other dinosaurs. And as for who took Sue's usual place, well, allow me to introduce Maximo. Maximo is a titanosaur, the last of the long-necked dinosaurs. In particular, Maximo is a Patagotitan, the second largest dinosaur of them all, second only in length to Supersaurus, and second in weight to the real biggest dinosaur of all time, Argentinosaurus. Now, unlike Sue, who is a single individual, Maximo is a composite, made of different pieces from many different Patagotitan skeletons. I was even treated to a 3D film telling Maximo's story, but sadly I wasn't allowed to record it for you guys. I also hit up the gift shops at both locations. I managed to score some cool souvenirs to bring home.
Of course, you can't call it a real vacation without sampling some of the local eats. Chicago style deep dish pizza was alright, but the mozzarella sticks were absolutely to die for. I also got to try out the Chicago Burger Bar. Of course, I don't drink myself, but the burgers there were massive and well worth the price. Heck, the hotel alone had 3 different restaurants, with different options to satisfy any taste. Though I must admit the breakfast was pretty expensive.
But were there downsides to this vacation? Absolutely, and that had to be the traffic. Everyone in Chicago drove like a gallimimus with soap in his eyes. Every other intersection felt like a total traffic jam. But I have to admit, it was well worth it.
And that concluded my time in the Windy City. I had a really good time, and hopefully you all did as well getting to experience it with me. Now back home, and it's time to get back to work. So, once again, I'm Jack Dragonfly, and I hope to see you all again next time. And don't forget to like, favourite, subscribe, and all that good stuff.